Well, welcome everybody. It is a Sunday night and it is 7 o'clock p.m. That means that it must be that the Green Bay Packers beat the Chicago Bears. No, wait, that can't be what it means. But it is indeed the truth. Welcome everybody to the amazing first anniversary. Who thought that I would actually still have this show going after a year episode of Painting with MenothJohn. Here on the fabulous Skypeness is the co-host with the host, Mr. John Spencer. Say hello to the crew, John.
Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Oh, my God. It's Sunday, John.
It is indeed Sunday.
It's
crazy football day.
Indeed, it was a crazy football day. We don't often talk sports here on Painting with MenothJohn, but we are definitely going to do that at least 5 or 10 seconds ago.
Indeed.
I'm not sure if we'll even broach the subject again. Thank you very much, Nick, for the happy anniversary. It is awesome to be here after 365 days. For those of you who don't remember why this show happened, basically, when I started this show, it was an answer to the fact that I couldn't get a date. And so now I've even got like a girlfriend and stuff. It's super awesome. So I want to say hi to all the fantastic Brushheads in the chat room. We're going to go ahead and get started early and often on tonight's show. So, John, I believe that you've got a beverage update for us this week.
Oh, indeed. I've got some Kraken here, too.
Woohoo! All right, everybody. Here's to a year's worth of Painting with MenothJohn. Hey, Ron!
Ron.
God, still tastes as good after all these days. A whole year. I got to thank my sister for this obnoxiously large bottle of Kraken rum I've got. So, yeehaw. Well, we've got an action-packed, awesome show. For those of you who are in the chat room, if you would like to share with us what you're going to be imbibing in this evening for tonight's spectacular, that would be fantastic. I'm going to take away the high production value Painting with MenothJohn sign and place it back in its drawer. Drawer provided by Bindi, who provided the painting table that is now the official painting table of Painting with MenothJohn. And so I've got some models to show, right?
Yes, you do.
All right, we've got an update here. I'm going to switch over here to another Facebook page that I've got open. And I want to, first off, I need to give a little shout out to Joe Merrick. Joe Merrick is one of our local players here in the greater Milwaukee area, and he is the man responsible for me having this Magnus 1. And I have completed Magnus 1. He had heard that I kind of wanted Magnus because everybody says he sucks, and I'm the kind of guy that loves to take a model that everybody say sucks and see if I can't polish that turd up nice and shiny. And so he provided me a fully assembled Magnus 1 that we featured, that I painted on the show last week. So I wanted to give a shout out to Joe Merrick and thank him very, very much for providing me this awesome model. And I think he turned out pretty slick.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Yep, I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. I'm really looking forward to running him with Galleon because a sniped Galleon is a happy Galleon. And I think that there are all manners of fun times that can be had with a sniped Galleon. And by fun, I mean disastrous for my foes. So thank you very much, Joe, for the Magnus 1. And we'll move on to the next. I did paint a number of models this week. And this is the second model that I painted. And this is the Epic Magnus. I'm going to take a look and see here. I've got to see on Twitch exactly how far behind we are. Holy cow. So,
standard.
Yep. So here is Magnus 2, Epic Magnus, the Warlord, I believe, and I'm real happy actually with how he's turned out. You can see here that we're carrying on the purple cloaks. That is the kind of the hallmark, the gray armor with the purple cloaks, and I have him on a colossal base. I've got him on a Stormwall foot. And you're going to, if you notice here, folks, I'm going to kind of point it out with a brush. I tried for the first time to add a little bit of corrosion and weathering and stuff like that on my model, and I'm pretty fond of how it turned out. I used and I'm going to bring it up here onto the camera. I used some of these new Citadel technical paints. Now, John, have you had a chance to try any of these things out?
No, I haven't. They keep selling out at the local store.
I am super stoked about how they turn stuff out. This is the Typhus Corrosion that I used. That is kind of that muddy brown effect that you see on it. And then I used their Citadel Dry Ryza Rust, which when you look at it, it's like, holy crap, it couldn't be more day-glow orange if it tried. But when you put it on there, if you use, not too much, you got to use it real sparingly. And then if it is a little bit too bright, you can always use a little Devlin Mud or the Agrix Earth Shade, whichever you have. And then if you go back over it, and then you touch it up with a little bit of the original silver color, it gives it a really nice chipped and corroded feel to it. So, pretty happy with how this guy turned out. Also, I want to reach out to the Brushheads in the chat room. I want to ask you, the video quality looks pretty good on my end. I've got a fair amount of internet stuff going on elsewhere in the house with the kids. If you guys could chime in on how the video quality is tonight, I would appreciate it. All right, the third model I did this week is one I'm calling Mario. He's named after one of the Glove and Boots characters. And he is a Renegade. And he, once again, is in the gray and purple of my Mercenaries. I'm pretty fond of how he turned out, too. A lot of this black lining that you're seeing on here is a direct result of that bug juice that I talked about on the one show. That is 2 big brushes full of water. It has 2 drops of mixing medium, about 9 drops of either Armor Wash or Secret Weapon Soft Body Black, and then 2 or 3 drops of Future Floor Wax. And it really does a nice job of kind of washing down, giving it a nice kind of a color change, and then black lining the living daylights out of everything. So he turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks good.
And let's see, and then this morning when I was horsing around, and John, you've probably seen this on my Facebook, but I accidentally painted wrong-eyed Snapjaw. I was screwing around with my airbrush this morning, and I'm going to tell you what, if nothing paints a gator like an airbrush. And I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. This is Snapjaw, obviously, that I've got on here right now. And it turned out pretty slick.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep. And then, let's see here. Oh, video looks great. That's good.
To my own.
Oh, hey, we got Fool in the house. That's awesome. Hey, Fool. And then this is the unwashed version. So you can see kind of the colors that it started out as on Snapjaw here. And then I used Devlin Mud to ink it down. And I'm going to do the same thing for Snapjaw here. Excuse me, Wrong Eye. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And you probably can't see it on the video, but he is holding a little bottle of Kraken. I put a Kraken label on it. And let's see, what else can I say here? But I think it's going to look, especially his Juju stick, is going to look pretty awesome once I wash it down. And that'll bring out all those skulls that it's made up of. So I'm pretty excited about this model too. And let me tell you, he works pretty good with either Galleon or Earthbreaker, I'm just going to say.
He's a hoot in general.
Yeah, he's good times. So, that's what we've done since last week. What have you gotten done this week there, buddy?
Well, I got my Hunters assembled. And swapped the heads because their heads look awful. And I even went so far as to put sheets and covers on my back because I had a 10 dice and a lack of sanity. So.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I tell you what, that is a lack of sanity. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, their heads look too big in the original pictures. You saw them on Facebook, but once you pry them up, you can't really tell the heads are a little bit bigger than the models to support. But
that's okay. I remember the pictures from the Facebook, and I was a little concerned that the heads were going to be a little bit too large. But I'm glad to hear that, like so many times, when you have when you've got something like that, you prime it up and then it looks fine.
Yeah, just the different materials make your eyes focus on them. So when they're all the same color, you don't notice.
I used to have 10 Miss Hunters, and now I have 9 because I managed to leave one of them at the game store when I was playing against Joe, the fellow that gave me Magnus 1. And he was good enough, though, to tell me what I had done and that I was an idiot. And I was very thankful that he told me that. So, which will get us to battle reports in just a second, but I would like to talk a little bit about the model that I'm going to start painting tonight. We're going to start a very special project for me. You know, I figured with the first year anniversary of Painting with MenothJohn that I would do something a little bit special. And if you guys remember, if you've seen on the Facebook or whatever, the amazing galleon that a good friend of the show, Chris Olhafen, painted up for me. Well, I'm nowhere near the level of painter that he is, but I went ahead and decided what he said he needed was a Gorman. And so I decided what I would do is I would take my other extra colossal foot that I have, and I would make this Gorman that you see right here. And I am going to make a quick change to my camera settings here. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, which allows me to bring up the detail a little bit better. And so that's what I'm going to be painting tonight. And Chris is actually coming to the Chicago area next week, so I'm going to get the opportunity to deliver this to him in person. I'm very excited about it.
Super cool.
Yep. So I'm going to start busting out some paints here and start getting busy with it. I'm going to probably paint this up in a color scheme very similar to what I did with my Magnus, but I'm going to use a slightly darker blue for the feet. Or should I just use? No, I'll use Exile blue. I'm going to use Exile blue for the blue on the foot, and I used an airbrush color called Sewage Water on Gorman there. So that's that kind of olive drab that you see on there right now. But, cool. Now we can get on to the painting part of the show.
Absolutely.
So, did you play any games this week, buddy?
I got one War Machine game in.
Okay.
Friday. New guy, I don't know if he's new to the area, but he's new to the store.
Okay.
Came in, and since I got off work early, had enough time after he played Citadel to play a game against him myself.
Nice.
He brought some K-Door with Sorcerer 2.
Oh. Sad face.
Behemoth with Widowmakers, Widow Guard, Demolisher, I believe is the Clamjack with 2 guns.
Yep, I think it's Demolisher.
Great Bears. It was pretty standard.
Okay.
I brought Ron.
Hey, Ron! Wait, got a quick. Where's my shot glass? Hey, Ron!
All right.
That's going to require a refill.
I had Phoenix and Chimera.
Nice.
Sentinels and Invictors.
Nice.
2 Jester Thanes. Unit of Battle Mages. 2 Arcanists. And if there's anything else that wasn't very important.
I know that feeling.
We're playing pretty much, I think it's Supply and Demand or something like that. It's like the standard scenario we end up playing when we have one out. It's a big zone with 2 objectives.
Okay.
And you can't dominate the zone until you blow up the objective that
Yep.
you're going to have, unless it's not in your control area. But with the caster I'm playing, it's always in the control area.
Gotcha.
I let him go first. Boots forward does the standard stuff. I always like to talk chance to score first if possible.
Yep, I can understand that. It's really it's kind of a double-edged sword. Do you want to jam, or do you want to score first?
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel like, Sentinels are okay with jamming, but not against Renegade.
Nope, you're not going to get up the field fast enough.
And the back ones are just going to spray and get the other ones out. So
Yeah.
that's no point.
Yeah.
So I just move forward, get some Invictor shots with I could.
Sure.
Flanked with 1 Invictor, flanked with the Chimera, actually.
Man, listen to us using technical terms like flanking. Man, this is breakthrough shit for painting with MenothJohn.
Indeed. So his turn, he had the behemoth to shoot the Chimera twice. I had actually left trips to focus on it to make it defense 14.
Okay.
And I hope to avoid some shots.
Well, there's a rule when there's a rule when you pull it out. People are like, "What?"
Yeah, it didn't help. He hit me twice.
Oh!
Then the Widowmakers shot off the rest of the arc there.
Oh no!
Other than that, he really didn't do too much with consequence. I gave it, next turn I gave it a focus with the Arcanist, and it charged, it is to charge a Widowmaker and have another one in melee. And I just rolled the 8s to kill them though, because sometimes what you're going to do.
Absolutely. Got to roll that hard 8.
I had some Winter Guard Iron Flesh potions, so I sent some Sentinels in, had the Phoenix go up and combust and kill a couple.
Nice.
I popped my feet, did some Chain Blast, almost killed the officer. I had one health block.
Ugh.
Force hammered the Demolisher out of the zone because that is what you get.
That's the best thing to do to a Demolisher.
I got a fair amount of work done. I was shooting stuff up with my Invictors when halfway through, more than halfway through, the last 3 I looked and there's Sorsha, more than an inch behind the wall, directly across my Invictors. And with much chagrin, I'm like, these last 3 shoot Sorsha?
Yep.
I did 5 damage to her, scared her a little bit.
There you go.
And he came forward, he had Sorsha cast the Freezy Grip 1.
Yep.
On the Invictors, because she doesn't like getting shot in the face.
Imagine that.
Yeah, the Chimera continues his offense against Widowmakers, killing another one.
That's alright, I find Widowmakers offensive, so that's fine.
The Sentinels, despite being up against Bob and Weave, Iron Fleshed, MkII Winter Guard did a great job killing a bunch of them, because I like to roll 10s.
Nice. I like it when you roll 10s.
They killed a fair amount, because they kept popping off some vengeance and getting me double attacks, and we got a double chance to kill them.
Nice.
One of the best things that killed 3 the turn before, 2 with impact attacks, and 1 with a Mat 10 charge. Pretty nice. At this point, with the Victor standing there, being frozen, probably going to happen again next turn, I decide my best option, despite the fact that Sorsha is relatively going well for me, is to just kill Sorsha.
Why not?
So I use Arcane Secrets. That's right, I wish they had too.
Yeah. That helps.
Yeah. So I Arcane Secrets, boost the Force Hammer and even 12, get it.
Nice.
Bounce her off. The Emoth was right behind her. Get to roll the extra die for bouncing.
Whoop!
Off her, for offering. Look at me. That's okay. She had like a couple boxes left. So I have the Phoenix walk forward and fire his Halo Cannon and kill her dead.
Victory Retribution. Nice. Good job, man.
It was a good time. He learned a bunch of stuff. I learned that perseverance and just the right application of a million attack rolls will kill Winter Guard.
There you go.
If Iron Flesh on.
Exactly. Now, would you like to hear about another Retribution match, or do you think, or should I tell you about my Convergence of Cirrus matchup?
Let's save the Convergence one for second, because I know sooner I'll be looking forward to hearing them die since he had a bad game against them today, I hear.
Okay. Well, I won both of the says spoilers. So let's go ahead and we'll start off with my game against Joe then. And Joe was good enough to meet with me at the store on, I think it was Saturday, to get a 50-point game in. And I had finally, I've got my Earthbreaker together, and I'm just frothing at the mouth to get to play it because it's such an amazing model. Yeah, okay, it looks like, the Lost in Space robot. It's so what? I love them, and I had built an Osram Highborn list. And my Osram Highborn list had Osram, oddly enough. It had Silas Wishnailer. He had the Earthbreaker. And let's see, what else did he have? I had Hearn and John, because I looked at Osram's card and I said, fire for effect. I bet you that'd be good with Hearn and John, because what I know about her and John is that those blasts are all those rolls for the blasts are also going to be boosted with a Fire Fury effect. So I did that. I played Nis Hunters because I wanted to leave one of them at the game store after the match was over.
Of course, they're talking.
Absolutely. I mean, there's such a pain in the rear end to put together. The best thing you can do is leave them behind. Then I did. Let's see. I had. Let's see. What else did I have in there? I'm trying to remember. I had Ion and Holt in case I needed some magic weapons. I had Orn Midwinter in case I ended up against Butch 3. I had, let's see, I had Wrong Eye and Snapjaw with a Bull Snapper in there because I hear that +2 armor that hits you back is a good thing with the old Spiny Growth, and so that gives me, for one turn at least, that gives me an Earthbreaker at armor 24. So I think that's pretty good. All things considered, I'm in favor of armor 24 Earthbreakers for me. Not against me, but for me. Then let's see. So we played the scenario where, let's see, you've got a flag and an objective. It's the one that all the light artillery loves, and he actually brought the Elfin long gun, whatever the heck that thing's called.
The heavy rifle team?
The heavy rifle team. He didn't even know, before he put it in there, that we were going to play that scenario, and there it was. And he had a list that had Invictors, Sentinels, House Guard, Halberdiers, with the proxying the new House Guard Thane, and we had he had a Manticore, a Phoenix, and a Griffin. This is with Virus 1. And then he had a, what do they call those? The Jack Marshal.
The Sire?
Yeah, the Dawnguard Sire. He had one of those in there too, and it was marshaling a Griffin. So here's the thing about Earthbreaker. Earthbreaker's got these torpedoes that knock people down. And it turns out, I had Thor in there too, because if you're taking Earthbreaker, you're taking Thor probably.
Oh yeah.
So the way I ended up, I don't want to turn this Painting with MenothJohn into battle reports with MenothJohn, but unfortunately Joe got his caster just a tiny little bit too close. There's a question: how do you take Wrong Eye and Snapjaw in Highborn when he only works Mercenary Cricks, not Signal? That's a good question. I guess I should have taken him as a 5-star.
It sounded like your list is 5-star. I don't hear anything that only plays for Signal anyways.
I blame War Room.
Because you also had Orn Midwinter, who is also only in 5-star.
Okay, so I blame 5. Maybe I did take it as a high. I don't know. Whatever. Regardless, I didn't. I don't think I cheated, Joe. So, and if I did, I apologize. So he had his caster up near one of the objectives, and I fired the first torpedo at it and knocked his caster down. And then I unloaded the rest of the guns into him.
You know how that one ends.
Yep, that one ends poorly for the guy with the hawk on his shoulder. So, but good game. We talked a little bit about maybe some placement things he could do in the future, and I think he came out of it learning a couple of things. I know I came out of it with a deeper appreciation. To be honest, with that list, I don't think Wrong Eye and Snapjaw are necessary, nor do I think actually that Silas Wishnailer is necessary, because I went through and did the calculation on how I was spending my focus, and I have plenty of focus in that list to do what I need to do with just that Earthbreaker, and not even have to worry about taking Silas for free upkeep. I'd much rather have that free upkeep over with Bart for the Galleon, actually.
That's always the question: which caster needs it more?
Yep. So I also did some dojo today with Gorton. Not Gorton. Yeah, I did. Well, the Gorton is obvious as far as that, but with Durgan, and Durgan turns that guy on too.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to lots and lots of good times with the Earthbreaker. He will be known as, his name is going to be unofficially the Comedy of Errors because of all the problems I had putting him together. Officially, his name will be Gorilla, after the character in the Glove and Boots YouTube series.
I almost feel like you could name him after the orange gorilla, Mr. Bungo, or whatever his name is, from their news report ones.
Oh, that'd be great.
We're breaking out some Glove and Boot knowledge, huh?
Yeah, look at you. I'm proud of you, buddy. That's why you're co-host with the host.
These guys are awesome.
Love Glove and Boots. I have to tip of the hat to Andy Welton, who turned me on to him.
Don't let me turn me on to them, but somebody out there turned me on. Thank you, whoever you are.
Yep.
Bree says the things you see when you're not playing Durgan, which is my common line walking through the store, because there's so many heavy infantry, lots of infantry lists, and I'll walk through and be like, but you're just lining them up. If I was playing Durgan, I would kill them all.
Kill them all right now with great justice.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, well, like I said, that was the Durgan was the only time I won a tournament at the Chain Attack Dojo up in Idaho Falls. Is when I was playing Durgan Madhammer and Gorton, and I was playing straight Searforge too. None of this Highborn crap.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah, I was playing him straight Rulick, and Jay failed his assassination with Mortenebra, and I ended up making him pay with an Avalancher and and Gorton. Not Gorton, but Durgan. This is such a pain in the butt to get this in here on this line. That's the problem with painting him based like this.
Yeah, I've done that problem a couple times and stuff.
But you know what?
Lossel's not on the base right now.
Yeah. You know what, though? He's going to be getting some of that typhus corrosion on there, and you're not going to be able to tell. Whew! It's warm in the basement tonight. What's that?
What about the second game?
Oh, the second game was against Travis, otherwise known as Dark Legacy. And he was playing a list that he was preparing for a tournament that we have at the at Gametown in New Berlin on, let's see, it's going to be January the 11th. It's a Saturday. And let's see here, Syntherian with a host of Donginators, or whatever they're called. I can never remember the name of their damn jacks. He had.
It's not that Buzzsaw one. Is it?
No, it was. There were two, I think, diffusers, which are the Hunter's Mark jacks.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then he had. So he had two of those. He had a Prime Axiom, which, obviously attracts a lot of attention. And he had. Oh God, a Flare Bot maybe. He had the Flare Servitors. He had a couple of Reflex Servitors. He had. I don't remember him having any infantry. Oh, he had 2 units of the repair guys, Optifex Directives or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he had 2 of the Arc Node guys, the Algorithmic Dispersion Optifexes. And then he probably had a pair of the Schlonginators, and then the Gas Raminators, and I don't know what else was in the list. But we were lazy, so we played 3 Flags. We played the 2014 version of 3 Flags, And
Which is pretty legit.
oh, I love the new version. It's fantastic. Way better than the last one. And I was playing my Severius 1 Judicator list, which has a full unit of Bastions, Severius 1 obviously, Judicator obviously. It has... It's... I forget what all's in it, but I ended up shooting the Prime Axiom off the table. With... I also have the Avatar in there. I have the Avatar and the Blessing of Vengeance in the list. And I ended up shooting the Prime Axiom off the table just with Judicator's guns. That was pretty amazing.
That is pretty legit.
POW 17s that don't miss are a thing. And so I was pretty happy with my performance. Sevi 1 really is genuinely legit with Judicator.
It's pretty good just on everything.
I'm actually kind of excited to play him with him on. I suspect he might be funny with him on. Because I'm going to line up a bunch of, like, Vigilance in front of him. And I'm gonna use those to build the synergy chain, and then I'm gonna make a list that also has Ayanna and Holt in it and Gorman, so I can just see how high I can get that number.
Probably pretty huge.
So yeah, because it'll start off at POW 23, and then let's see, POW 23 from Eye of Menoth and the Choir, and then it'll go up to 25 with Ayanna and Holt, and it'll go up to 27 with Harm, and then add whatever the synergy chain is after that.
How silly.
How really damn big. So, yeah, I'm kind of losing track of the time here. So I won both of those games. Long story short, I won both games. Wonderful opponents. I'm looking forward to that Sevi list possibly being one of my 2 lists for the tournament. So, hey, guess what time it is, folks? It's that magical time. John, are you ready for some Flippity Bloop?
All right, yeah, I'm ready for some Flippity Bloop.
I want to thank everyone who put up Flippity Bloop questions for that. But before we do Flippity Bloop, I want to read a little note that I got on the Painting with MenothJohn site. I'll put this down for a second, and I'm going to read this. It's from one of the listeners, one of the Brushheads, and I just want to thank him. This was very moving to me. It says, "Hello, John. I'm just writing you a small note to say thank you. I love your show, and when you're outpouring yourself out to any podcast, your positive approach to looking at life and all things in it, how you are upbeat and make someone you have never met feel like they have known you their whole life. Your sense of humor is also great. Last year, a little before Christmas, I went through some dark times. There were a couple of things I did to keep myself going a bit longer. One of them was listening to you on Chain Attack and Lost Hemisphere episodes. I must have listened to the Chain Attack John Con episode and the State Troopers episode daily. Like I said, just your humor, positive approach, and love of people made me feel a bit better, and there was a great people in this world. As of today, with the support of family, friends, and the wonders of pharmacology, those days are not so bleak. Every week I look forward to watching the video cast, even if I can't make it to the live one on time. Also, Crippled System now, those guys and gals are hilarious, which I totally agree with. The world needs more people like you in it. And then I just wanted to raise a special shot glass of Kraken to this individual. He wanted to remain anonymous, and I'm totally down with that. So I want to thank you, and I also want to thank all of you Brushheads out there for making the last year here with Painting with MenothJohn a fantastic year, one of the best I've had in a long, long time. And here's to you, Ron.
Ron.
I think that's about as serious as we're going to get for the rest of the show. But I super, super, super appreciate it. Appreciate all 22 of you who are out there watching the show right now. That is fantastic. Glad you all could make it. All you you wonderful brushheads, and those of you who are the legends. I also want to thank Ed Defoe for the fantastic picture of the brushhead that is now adorning the wall of the Painting with MenothJohn Facebook page. So, John, without further ado, flippity bloop.
We'll start with one out of the chat one.
Okay.
Kurdash asked, how do you paint flesh? He's had some problems.
Sure. I'll be happy to share that. I will take and I'll give you my tips and hints here. Depending upon what kind of race I'm painting, I usually use one of two different paints. I'm either going to use the Midland flesh or the Idrian flesh. My Cricks are starting out as having a darker flesh, and so that's why I went with the Idrian flesh for those. But normally, like if you look at, and I'll bring back Epic Magnus here and try to hold him steady so you can get a look at his face. I use the Midland flesh for him, but you're going to notice he's got somewhat of a darker cast to him. So what I do after I apply the Midland flesh, and I try to apply it relatively thin, and I'll do it like in 2 or 3 coats at least. And then what I'll do is I'll come back with the Ogren flesh from Citadel, and what I think that does is I think that gives it a more realistic cast to the flesh than just the Midland. And then I'll let that dry good, and usually I'll put 2 coats of Ogren flesh on there. One usually doesn't give me the depth of the skin that I want, and so I'll do the Ogren flesh. Then what I'll do is I'll paint the eyes in, and what that does is I can make a mistake on the eyes then. Then what I do is I come back with Cardic flesh, and the Cardic flesh is slightly lighter than the Ogren fleshed Midland flesh. Does that make sense? So after the Ogren flesh stains the Midland flesh, the Cardic flesh turns out to be slightly lighter in color. And what that allows me to do then is to paint the brow line, his nose, and then shape underneath the eyes, which is where the cheekbones would be. And I find that works out pretty darn good. Now, my biggest watch out for flesh is that Midland flesh and Cardic flesh all dry very quickly. So you need to make sure that you've got plenty of water on your brush, and that's where a really good brush really helps. Like a Winsor Newton brush holds the water really, really well. You want to use the sable brushes for the detail work especially. I use sable brushes for all my painting. They are a little bit expensive, but if you go to Dick Blick Art at dickblick.com, they have some really tremendous deals on Winsor Newton brushes, and I can't recommend them highly enough. John, do you have any tips and tricks on that?
Mine's a bit easier. I use PW paints. I'll use their darker flesh color, whichever it's called now, for the base color, or tan flesh.
Yep.
And then I will usually run a wash over that, and then I'll do a little bit of highlight with a mixture of Jazzy flesh and elf flesh.
Cool.
I just pick out the raised areas. Quick 3-step. Looks pretty solid.
Yep, well, that sounds really good. And there you go. There's some different manufacturers, colors, and things like that people can key in on. I'm getting a little bit more Kraken because I think I want a little bit more Kraken. And we did have a quick question from Gex Lizard. What do you use for black people's skin? For skin tones with more melanin in them, that's when I go to the Idrian flesh. And I did my Holt as a black person, and I thought that it gave a nice kind of chocolatey color to the skin, which not too dark, not too light, either one of them. So I thought it worked out pretty effectively. I don't have an example right in front of me, but I think it really worked out pretty good. So, flippity bloop.
All right. First I'm going to throw my posted a tutorial I got on black flesh online somewhere in the chat window, so you can take a look at that too.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you.
We're going to jump into the mom forums. Well, at least someone answered. Happy Panda wants to know, will the second Renegade be named Luigi?
Luigi. No, wrong reference. If there ever is a second Renegade, it will probably be named Jack Wood. I think that was that character's name, wasn't it? The one kind of outdoorsy guy that they had on there once, or Zombie.
Or Zombie.
Could be Zombie. Might call him Zombie. Because Zombie.
The wrong references going in. He's got the
Yeah.
Nintendo reference.
He's thinking of Nintendo, and I can understand it. I am a Vigi gamer, but no, in this case, it was definitely a glove and boots reference. Cool. Flippity Bloops.
Also from Mount Forums, Wild Garlic asks, do you get unlimited free coffee?
Do I get unlimited free coffee? The answer to that is no, I do not get unlimited free coffee. There are benefits to being a Starbucks employee, but that is not one of them. I do, however, get a certain amount of product that I don't know that I'm supposed to go into, but I do not get unlimited free coffee. So, unfortunately, I cannot send you unlimited free coffee. Flippity bloop.
Alright, now the meat of it off of Facebook.
There we go. Thank you for posting that thread, by the way, John.
No problem. Alright, Jason Belsha asks, of all the podcasts you've helped get off the ground, which one is your favorite to be on? And which host do you have the most chemistry with?
I will always look back on Lost Hemisphere Radio as being, it's the one that started it all. Chris Miller is a fantastic guy to do a podcast with. The only reason the partnership ended was because I was an idiot, and it was fantastic. Of the shows that I'm really proud of the work that Jay Larson and Trevor and Scott Ray have done with Chain Attack. Those guys, I did help them kind of get off the ground and did a few tutorials with them on editing and things like that. But I enjoy going on all the podcasts. I really enjoyed recording with Focus and Fury here a couple weeks ago. That episode just went up on the mom feed, so you can listen to me complain about The Hobbit and probably swear too much and that kind of stuff. But I love those guys. I mean, Nigel and Jamie and Caleb are fantastic guys to record with, and it made being in Minnesota a little less worse, a little less bad, because it's bad enough to be in Minneapolis, I tell you. So basically, I didn't answer your question. I just said I love them all because I don't want to piss anybody off, and I'm just like that. So flippity bloops.
On Quick News, an eastbound train is traveling at 20 miles per hour and a westbound plane is traveling at 2 miles per hour. Why do they want to count up all those apples?
Mostly because they were playing Cards Against Humanity. That was an easy one, man. I thought it was going to be a serious story problem. I was like getting ready to bust out my calculator.
All right.
Yep.
So next one is Robert Drevsky.
Okay.
When do you plan to launch the uprising to take over for Fat Nation?
What makes you think I haven't started it already? No. I'm not going to go after that juggernaut for all the tea in China.
I think it's too much work.
I'm going to tell you what, Mr. Damaris is putting together quite the little empire based out of the greater Des Moines area, and he's doing a great job with it. I mean, you talk about a guy that's actually may prove the model wrong, that you can't make money podcasting. He's on his way to do it. So, I have not yet recorded with News on Minis, believe it or not. I mean, they host the show and all that stuff as far as they give me a place to put up posts and things like that, but now I don't want to take over the empire from John Damaris. He's doing a fine job, and somebody's got to make plastic widgets and stuff like that, so it might as well be him. So, how are we doing on Flippity Bloops?
Oh, we got a bunch.
Oh, awesome. So, look at that. I managed to take all this. I must be sweating like a pig, because I managed to rub all of the paint off the top of Gorman diWolfe's head. So, I don't think I'm going to fix it until after I get done touching the top of his head. So, okay, flippity bloop.
All right, Joe Tan asks, Have you ever been recently surprised by a good list that was built around a rarely or less often played Warcaster Warlock? If so, what was it? Also, wants a shout out for all the non-American War Machine players out there. They're apparently having a 32-man Steamroller 2013 tournament in a couple of weeks in Malaysia.
Yep. That's super awesome. Thanks, Jotan. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Joe and I talk every now and again via the Facebooks and all that kind of stuff. Super sweet guy. Shout out to all the internationals out there. I'm looking at you, Neek. I'm looking at you, Jotan. I'm looking at all the boys in Ireland. Looking at all the boys there in Germany and Sweden, and they're just all over the place. And none of you have Obamacare, and I'm sorry for you that you don't have Obamacare. But we do have, you guys have the war machines, and that's all that matters. Almost took a political turn here on Painting with MenothJohn. We're not going to do that, though. But that sounds exciting that they're going to have the 32-man tournament in Malaysia. That's going to be super awesome.
Yeah, that's legit.
And then what was his other question?
There's a good list built around a rarely or less often played Warcaster Warlock.
Well, I've got some pretty good Harbinger lists. I mean, she's hardly ever played. I mean, she's pretty rare. You don't see her very often. I almost played against a Harkovich list until Caleb pussied out and ran Esorsha at me. Okay, I got a good one for you. This is professional podcasting, what you're about to hear. I'm going to do a shout out back to Chris Miller. He has some really effective Amanad Raza lists, and that he uses Idrians in, I think, and with the monks. And he uses those monks like nobody's business. I'm going to tell you, they are very effective in small groups. They may not be much like just by one at a time, but man alive, are they potent when you put them together as a team. And I've heard him, I've seen him win, I believe he's won some tournaments with that in the greater Burlington, Ontario region. So there you go once again, by the way, a non-American call out to a non-American War Machine player, even though it's Canada and they are the 51st state. But we'll still call it international. So hopefully that answers the question. I think he's running it as the tier list, the theme list. So if that should give you some thoughts there. Other casters that I've seen that are that I've seen some pretty effective lists built around. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, if something grabs me later on, I'll come back to this one. But for right now, I'm going to punt to Flippity Blue.
All right. Scott Hedlund second. How do I get a Badger out of my orange sedan?
The best way to get a Badger out of your orange sedan is to throw him out of the sunroof. That is a reference, of course, to one of the truly great iPad apps, EnviroBear 2000. If you don't know what EnviroBear is, I suggest you look up the episode known as Crippled Fury on the Focus and Fury, not Focus and Fury, excuse me, on the Crippled System feed. And I am playing, you can listen to me play EnviroBear 2000 on that podcast in the background. And I do happen to get a Badger in the orange today. So there you go. Flippity bloop.
All right. Next is Alec Martin.
Yep, Alex.
Why is Wisconsin so damn cold?
Wisconsin is so damn cold because it is too close to Minnesota.
Yeah.
If Minnesota wasn't there, it would be like a tropical paradise in Wisconsin. But it is proximity to Minnesota, which is the coldest place on the planet. But it is colder. Actually, it's funny. I was looking at the internets today, and it was actually colder in Wisconsin and Minnesota than it was in some parts of Antarctica today. That is messed up. There are many places in Iceland that were much warmer. Most places in Iceland were warmer than Wisconsin and Minnesota today. Thank you, Minnesota. Really appreciate that. Flippity bloop.
All right, Joseph Merrick asks if you could have any weapon from the Iron Kingdom universe fabricated as a display piece, what would you pick and why?
Oh, any weapon from... Well, let's see. Anything that Stryker has is too large. That's a good question. I would use. Let's see. I would probably get Faux Cleaver X because it's got such a cool name.
It does look pretty cool too.
Yep. So that is Epic Magnus's sword. It's got what appears to be like a gun on it or something. Because it's got like a barrel attached to the top of it. Does he have a gun?
No, he just got his scatter gun.
Okay. Well, it's got like this like pool cue thing going down the top of the thing, and then on his mechanical arm, he's got like an X. So it's like he's like an X-Men. So I like that one. We'll go with that. Who's next?
I'd probably go with the simple Nomad's Battle Blade. It's really cool.
That is a cool looking blade. And it yells reach when you look at it, too.
Yes. All right. Next is Chris Suher.
Okay.
Do you feel painting craft has increased your skill with the brush over the past year? And what has been your most rewarding painting discovery over the last year?
Okay, that's a great question. For those of you who don't know who Chris is D. Vader on the forums. He is the guy that basically owns the painting competition at War Machine Weekend. To say that he has skills is the understatement of the century. So thanks for tuning in, Chris. I really appreciate you being a part of the show. I do believe that it has increased my painting skills a ton. I mean, if you look at how I was painting before Judicator and kind of the stuff like that I'm doing now. I mean, if you look at the Gator that I showed you, or Magnus 1, I simply wasn't capable of that kind of painting a year ago. So I think that it actually has increased my painting skills quite a lot, actually. And I look forward to seeing where things might go in the next year. So, what about you?
Well, I haven't painted too much on the cast. I do a lot of other stuff. I just got my light for painting.
Yep. That's going to change.
It has let me work on stuff, so.
Yep.
One extra time here at home rather than just at the store helps the bench.
Yep. And as I was saying earlier, I super appreciate you as my co-host. You know, it's been a lot of fun since we brought the show back. It's going to be a lot of fun continuing the show over the next however long we go with it. But I don't see a reason to take it down again. I'm just having way too much fun painting and conversing with everybody and having a lot of fun on a Sunday night. So I think that it's made a big difference to me, and it certainly has brought a lot more people into my life. And I'm in the process of making models for people, and people are making models for me. It's super fun. I'm having a great time. So that's probably more answer than what any of us were looking for. But I'm going to go with Flippity Blue.
All right. Alan Green asks, what's the freshest smelling con ever and the punchiest smelling con ever?
Okay, the freshest smelling con I've ever been to is probably TempleCon. It's a geek con, so you've got a little bit more diversity than just gamers, and it's cold out. So you don't have the I just walked in 100 degrees of humidity funk aspect to it. So that's pretty awesome. Now, I'll be the first to admit that when I go to a con, I'm not exactly just walking around checking out people's pits, doing pit checks and things like that. So there may have been funk at TempleCon, but I haven't smelled it. The funkiest smelling, I take that back. I have to take TempleCon away. I walked into the board game room at TempleCon and about lost my lunch. So I got to take that one back. I forgot about that room. Then it probably has to go to War Machine Weekend. I don't know that I've ever really smelled terrible funk at War Machine Weekend. War Machine players are, in general, reasonably good at hygiene. I mean, that's a comment. There just aren't a lot of... They kind of get the 3-2-1 rule, which is, of course, 3 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower. And that 1 shower is totally critical. So... what about you, John? Have you, and that's probably the freshest smelling. The worst one has got to be Gen Con. Gen Con's hard, but
my freshest smelling. I'm going to count the American Team Championship.
Of course.
I did recently, and that was great. I mean, there weren't a lot of people, but even though it was Tennessee in summer, it was still very fresh.
That might even be a bigger accomplishment. The fact that it was in Tennessee, which is only about 6,000% humidity in the summertime. That's some high praise you got going on right there.
And then the worst would be some little vampire live action film I did in 1991.
Oh my.
In a hotel. It was horrific.
It was a vampire LARP?
Yep. It was Halloween. We just went as a fun girl to Pennsylvania. I spent more time hanging out watching the costume contests and contests and hanging out with people than actually doing anything.
Yeah, you almost lost your co-host's job on a LARP. Just saying.
It was 1991.
Okay. Statute of limitations has passed.
Just as an aside, Chris, I was in the chat room.
Yeah, hey!
With the model.
Yep. This one's for you, Chris. I'm kind of running into a dark alley, though, on what to do with Gorman. As you can see, I managed to rub all the paint off the top of his head, so I've got to repaint that. Yay. I know I want this color for most of his outfit, but I thought my original plan here, John, was to go with a purple cloak. How do you think the purple cloak would go with the olive green, everything else?
I think it'd be too much. I actually really like keeping his cloak and his hat and his apron area the same color. Sort of like that corrosive resistant, whatever material, whatever it's made of.
Yeah. So do you think, what about his, so would you do his, so you think that the sort of the cape should be the same color as the rest of his outfit?
Well, like his loincloth and his hat. Maybe do like the pants or his shirt area in the purple might work.
Okay. Okay. I'm having a moment of crisis here. I got to think about this one a little bit. Make him look like Darkwing Duck. You know, that's actually been done in my local meta, where they actually modded his face to look like a bill. I'm going to throw this out to Chris Olhaven. Chris, what do you think I should do with his with this here? Because I'm at that point that if I'm going to do something with the cloak, I've got to do it now. I was thinking of doing the trim on his cloak. It's kind of like a metallized thing. I was going to do that in blighted gold.
That'd be very good. I'd like that.
I think the blighted gold would look nice with the olive. So, all right. So I'm going to continue on. Do we have any more Flippity Bloops?
Oh, we still do.
Oh my God! Let's keep on Flippity Blooping. This show might go long tonight, John. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'm just going to give a shout out to Eric who asked you to talk about your adventures in airbrushing, which you've done.
Yep.
And then next is Christopher MkII.
Yep.
Who asks, is it better to watch games now, John, on a 15.6-inch laptop screen or a brand new 50-inch high-beam TV?
I say a brand new 50-inch HD TV, because that way you can experience all the awesome of MenothJohn's fingers.
I agree. Got that thing easy.
That's right. That is my. Those are words to live by right there. If you've got it, use it.
Next one is Jeff Partington. Should I get another beer?
Yes. The answer to that is get another beer. Even if you've already gone to get another beer, you should now go get another beer, because you have time to drink it. Because we're closing in quickly on the third half hour of the Painting with MenothJohn show. Continue on. Any more Flippity Bloops?
We've got one more as far as I know.
Very good.
Which is from Pete. So 1 year of painting with MenothJohn. John got a girlfriend and learned to paint. What can we expect from the next year? Sculpting and world domination?
I think in the second year, we can expect probably liver issues due to the Kraken. We can expect, in all seriousness, I think we can experience more frivolity and hijinks every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Over the course of the year. We can expect, let's see here. We can expect my house to sell in early January here. We can expect me to turn 46 in June. We can expect the unexpected. Other than that, I guess I don't know. It's all a mystery, but we're going to take it week by week. I can tell you that. Let's see here. So If you did the shirt dark tan, that's interesting. I like that idea. Dark tan. So I could do that as maybe a Guncore brown.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, that's an excellent suggestion. Excellent suggestion. I might do his boots a different color too. Maybe I'll do them like a darker, like a coal black.
I like coal black. Almost all my boots are being a coal black.
So that was our last Flippity Bloop, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
It's kind of a sad moment. I have a certain amount of ennui related to the fact that that was the last Flippity Bloop for the anniversary show. But I will, however, bust out the Kraken here again and wish everybody a fantastic. Hey, Ron!
Ron!
Sweet nectar of the gods. I've gotten so much better at drinking that stuff. Used to be that I never was very good at drinking shots, but I can drink this crap. All right, well, this brings us, now the Flippity Bloop has passed us and moved on into the distance, into the evening sun. That means that it must be time to talk about media, video games, movies, TV, what have you, in our fabulous third half hour of Painting with MenothJohn show. John, what do you got for us this week?
Well, this week I've watched the entirety of The Fellowship of the Ring, and then the first half of The Two Towers.
Excellent.
Both the extended editions, of course.
I was just going to ask if you were watching the extended editions. I highly support the extended editions of those movies.
And I was trying to decide what to watch Christmas Eve, and when I at work before I left, so I should watch the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. And since I get home from work about 6:30, I didn't feel like getting up to like 5:30 or 6 in the morning to watch them all at once.
And as a matter of fact, that would have been the case.
It would have. It's like 11 and a half hours long.
That is a lot of walking around. I'm going to tell you what. That is a lot.
Fellowship of the Ring, still just as good all these years later.
Yeah.
The extended edition has some pacing problems, of course, because oh my God, it's long.
It is a long movie. That is 4 hours long?
It's like 3 and change.
Wow. It's been a while since I popped that in my DVD player.
I just felt like after watching The Hobbit, and I'm getting ready to run a Dungeons and Dragons campaign for a local store, and I like to get some inspiration.
Very nice.
Might will start at the source.
Absolutely right. Fantastic. So, from the Fellowship, what is your favorite scene?
Aragorn and Renegade.
That is a hell of a good scene.
That's the moment where I was like, oh, it's Renegade. He's the real deal.
He's kind of a badass, as it turns out.
I never read the books when I was younger. I didn't have patience for anything quite so wordy.
Oh, dude, I didn't read Lord of the Rings until I was in probably my early 30s. I had no time for anything of that length.
Yeah, my mom tells me that when I was younger, I didn't read a lot until she started buying me comic books, and I read everything.
Sometimes you just got to find that niche and tap it.
Okay. And then for the first half, The Two Towers, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
While the Frodo and Sam and Gollum part is important, oh my lord.
Yep.
At certain points you're like, let's get to something. And that movie in particular, the extended edition, is, I mean, it's not paced poorly, but it's just a lot of walking and talking.
I mean, honest to God, I mean, someone I know described The Lord of the Rings and Tolkien's work in general as being essentially a travel log. And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
The extended version explains so much more than The Two Towers. I mean, you could skip it for Fellowship. It's good, but you wouldn't need it.
Yep.
For Two Towers, it adds a whole new dimension.
Yep, I agree. I don't even own the non-extended editions.
I'm not giving my parents, so I don't know.
Yes.
I bought them as they came out. When the extended edition came out, I gave them the other one because my mom doesn't get to see anything in the theater.
Yeah, Dad's not
In fact, she's got my DVD version of Avengers right now because I have a DVD Blu-ray combo pack. I'm like, here, have this.
Nice. That's a great movie. I love Avengers. I love the Lego Avengers video, Lego Marvel Superheroes video game too. Holy cow, is that good? So yeah, so I watched something slightly different for Christmas. I watched Love Actually. Have you ever seen Love Actually?
I have not. My wife is surprisingly not so much into girly movies.
Okay, well, okay. Let's not give it a girly movie. It is a romantic comedy, no doubt about it. It is, as far as I'm concerned, as good as Hugh Grant gets. And speaking of hobbits and Middle Earth, um, Frodo is in the movie, and he plays. I keep on running a blank on his actual real name.
Is it Elijah Wood?
Nope, not. I mean Bill. Frodo?
Bilbo, Ian Holm?
No, it's help me, Belinda. He plays the Hobbit in the Hobbit.
Oh, yeah. I know
He was also in Help Us, Brushheads. You're my only hope. I am not. I cannot believe it. He is also Tim from the British Office, the original good Office, not that ridiculousness that was on American TV. He's also Dr. Watson on Sherlock.
Martin Freeman?
Martin Freeman, thank you very much.
Yay, IMDb.
Yay! So he is in the movie, and he has one of the cutest storylines of the whole thing. He is he's either a porno actor or a stand-in for a porno actor, and he ends up falling in love with the female stand-in for the porno actress, and they have this cute courtship that is like totally innocent and really cute, even though they see each other naked all day and are bumping uglies the whole time. It's like they're so divorced from what they're doing that they don't even realize that that they have essentially seen each other in flagrante delicto every day that they're at work. But it's really good. One of my favorite parts of the movie is the fact that one of the British guys is always talking about how hot American women is, and he ends up going to Wisconsin to find hot women, and the women that are portrayed there are simply not realistic. I've lived in this state for years. They don't look like that. So anyway, whew, this light that I paint with puts out about 400 degrees, and I'm having to deal with it.
Mine is luckily not that hot. It's a little warmer than I'm used to, but it's got a magnifying glass inside it, like a magnifying thing.
You can totally see all the mistakes.
Yes.
So, what other things did you do over the holidays?
Well, yesterday we played some King of Tokyo at the local store.
Nice. This will be an official King of Tokyo bat rep?
Sure.
Woohoo!
All the details, but we're playing. We had all people who played before, so we broke out everything, including the Halloween expansion.
Nice.
Because
costumes are awesome.
I played the panda because I like the panda.
Yeah. Was it a happy panda?
It was a kick-ass panda. So throughout the game, I killed every player.
Whoa!
Except the guy who won.
Oh! Small details.
Yeah, no. It was a good time, He had won a couple last times I killed him too. He had like 1 or 2 lives left.
Yep. How can you not have fun with that game?
Then the second game, we go back and forth, and Bowie's in the lead for a while. And, he ends up getting the sidekick card, so if you kill whoever he's sidekick to, he goes away too.
Okay.
We killed him once, he gets the sidekick in play. Managed to kill him the second time, or kill his sidekick to, puts him out of the game, leaving me and another guy who probably kills me.
Ah!
For the last game, I got a little combo going here.
Okay.
I got, when Panda still, I got the time stop with roll 3 ones.
Yep.
Get an extra turn with 1 less die.
Oh!
I got the card that lets you turn any one of your dice into a 1.
Wow, okay, that's a good combo.
And then I also ended up with the cheerleader costume. You can cheer for any other monster if they do 1 extra damage.
Yep, I've been the beneficiary and the victim of that card.
So I'm in Tokyo with another guy who's relatively new, but to catch up really quick. And I'm just cheering every time, trying to get him to help kill the rest of the guys. And for a while, he's just not doing it with cheering, which I legitimately cheer for him.
Yep.
So finally, he leaves the city, and I'm in there, and I just start on a tear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, triple one, some attacks, kill somebody. 5 dice, I get 2 ones and some hits and something else, so I turn one to a 1, take another turn. Go down to 4 dice, do it again, 1 hit and that. Now there's only me and one other guy. All he's got left is he's got 2 life left. The next roll with only 3 dice, I only do 1 life. And unfortunately, I was only up to 1 life, so he rolls the 1 and kills me.
Oh.
And the funniest thing is earlier, he was going to buy parasitic tentacles and take all of our cool upgrades. And I had used Bamboozle to make him buy Eater the Dead instead, thus providing him with life until he died, so he didn't die too.
Oh.
But Kingmaker 3 times.
Well, hey, congratulations. Good job.
That was a great time.
It's a fun
That was
time.
great.
Belinda and I played Firefly, also 2-player. We played the one where you get to $12,000. Whoever gets to $12,000 first, and then you win. And it was really close. I was on my way to cashing in a couple of jobs, and that would not have been quite enough. But she got the $12,000 and she won. That's a fun game.
It was a fun game. I only played it once, but I remember Double Squid and trying to turn this one mission where he had to have his, what's it called? His cargo and the bad stuff.
Yep, the contraband? Yep.
Contraband, yeah. Every time, it's like he gets up there, the Lion Cruiser shows up, takes his contraband.
Oh.
I tell him some contraband. He goes back, the Lion Cruiser takes his contraband. It happened like 3 or 4 times in the game. It's hilarious.
That's very funny. One of the things I do, at least I tried, was I said, well, I'll get myself tight with Harkin right away, so at least I can, or solid, I should say, with Harkin right away, so that that way at least, if I get the customs inspection and I've got contraband, they don't search. And, but, I don't know, I failed in that game because I spent too much time upgrading my ship again. That's always my fault. And I stayed honest too long. And Belinda went all roguey on me, and she easily won. So good job to her. So, I'm getting pretty close to not working on this model a whole bunch more, because now I'm kind of getting to that point where I need to do like real detail work. And what I found from doing this show is that doing real detail work does not work when you have a camera sitting between you and the model. So what I'm going to do here real quick is fix up Gorman's where I've rubbed the paint off of him on top of his hat. I'm going to fix that up and then probably BS for the remainder of the show. Okay, that was a little bit more paint on there than I wanted. So I don't want to mess up a good airbrushing job that I did earlier.
I've got some brown paint on some bases, and dry brushing it next.
Sweet. I should
get the mist on soon.
Nice. You're gonna love playing with those guys.
Yeah. Funny enough, I've won tons and tons of games with mercenaries, played them for a long time. I've used them once as a proxy.
Yep. So there we go. I think we're just gonna let him sit there like that. I think the choice of going with the brown on his clothes with the coal black gloves and boots was a good move. I think I'm liking that a lot. Is Chris Olhafen still in the chat room there? not seeing her. I'm not seeing her boy Fallen Studios. Anyway, so hopefully he likes it. The game plan is to hook up with him later this week to for him to take a look at it. Oh, wait a second. Chris Olhafen actually texted me. We can't hear John Spencer too good. Oh, well, I'm still working on that, guys. Trying to get the audio part of this thing.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to talk too loud to come up with my wife's play because she's playing on MMO right now.
Okay,
and my throat's a little rough too. So.
Firefly is pretty good with 2 players. I enjoyed it. Oh, there he is. So hopefully, Chris, you like what I'm doing so far, and that's fantastic. I think it's working out pretty good, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person later on this week. Game plan is to get old Gorman done here. I don't see any problem with having him done. I should have him done tomorrow, I think, the way he's progressing. And to give it to him in person, down in the Chicago area, and play a game with him. So that is, it's going to look a lot better once we get the washes on him. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the typhus corrosion and the Rhiza rust on the foot. And we'll get some cool colors in there for the little alchemical vials that are hanging from his belt. And I think I've probably got one or two more base colors to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the washes on them and get them looking spiffy. And it'll be looking all good. So, let's see, what other media type things have I done? I'm gonna like play with arranging things in front of the camera here so that the viewers have something interesting to look at.
Someone did request that at some point you take a progression picture of what you painted in the first painting with MenothJohn up to the most recent.
That is a good idea. I will do that. I'd have to look and see all the different things that I painted on painting with MenothJohn. Make a list of them or something.
Yeah.
So, here's an interesting model. I'm going to put it front and center. It is the famous Eris 3. Have you obtained one of these wonderful models yet, John Spencer?
Most of one.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the replacement arm, like I said last week, to come in.
That's right. It is the most god-awful model in history to put together.
I haven't had as many problems with models since I got those new drill bits, because I can paint a lot better with them.
I'm going to tell you what, this Iash, you have to paint her in pieces. The picture that you're going to see in front of you has no head. And the reason it has no head is, and I got to move some of these other models back so that you can actually see the fact that she has no head. In order to paint her back, you have to leave her cloak and head off, because I'm going to do her with the hood up version. Mm-hmm. And it's just god awful. You can't reach behind there and paint her skin, and she's got a bare midriff, so you want to paint the skin all the way around. And if you don't leave her head and cloak off, and I hate painting cloaks off, priming them off, and then having to figure out how not to rip all the primer off and then pick it off of the thing, and it's a pain in the ass. But I am going to paint her probably sometime this week, just to get her done with, so I can put her together. But I'm looking forward to getting her. I have also put in an order for infiltrators for her to play with.
They are sweet. I've used them quite a bit.
Yeah, their defense, what, 15?
14.
14? That's all right, they're fast.
On paper, they look kind of mediocre, but they play really good.
Yep.
My first experience with them, I had 4 of them kill a Carnivian. Granted, dice were with me a bit, but just the fact that they can do that.
POW 9, not Weapon Master, correct?
POW 9, but they have gangs, so they have to do POW 11.
Okay. Well, boosted POW 11s are nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and I was getting decent rolls with a lot of the second attacks, doing, a point or two a lot of the time.
I see Jotan or Tau Dark, I believe, is Jordan was asking about any chance we can see how you apply the Rise of Rust. I can certainly do that. I can make a video during the week of me doing the weathering on the model for Chris Olhafen, so that you can see me do the Rise of Rust on it. And we'll see how. I really need to trick someone into playing Space Hulk with me tomorrow or on New Year's. I completely agree. That game, I think I've played it twice the entire time I've owned it, and I'm not sure if I want to spring all that awesome on poor Belinda.
Ooh. It was my first GW game, but that's a heck of a start.
I have no interest in making her hate all games forevermore. So, I know, I wish I had some. I'll have to bust it out one of these days. I could take it up to Madison and get one of those clowns to play with me. I'll make a deal. I'll tell Ridiafan that I'll bring the Space Hulk 3rd Edition, and he can teach me how to play Ogre.
Fortress America is good stuff.
That's true. I should play Fortress. And he said I could go to his house at any time of the night, and he would open up the door and play Fortress America. He put that out there on Crippled System.
Yeah, we played that quite a bit in my younger days. It was good stuff.
It's still in print, right?
Maybe between print. He says it's like kind of in print. I haven't seen it in a while. I don't talk to the guys I played with back in the day. I didn't know any copy myself.
Okay, I think it came. I know it was out of print, but then I say, wait a second, dude. Before you sign off, is the galleon around not packed up? If it is, all good. The galleon is packed up, unfortunately, Chris. There are pictures of galleon, I believe, on one of my Facebook sites. If you guys can't find it, let me know. I'll snap a picture. Leave a comment on the Painting with MenothJohn website, and I'll put one up. So it's kind of nice.
Back on media, it sort of occurs to me that I'm actually reading the book right now.
Oh yeah, what are you reading, buddy?
I'm reading the latest Star Wars X-Wing book.
Oh, no shit.
It's surprising because I haven't read a Star Wars book in more than a decade.
Okay,
well, a new Star Wars book.
I'm gonna pour a glass of Kraken for that one.
It's pretty interesting because since it came out, I picked it up in the store when it came out. I guess months ago. I just reread the entire series up to that point, and then starting to read that. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of new characters because they advance the timeline a bit, but it's Aaron Allison. He's got a pretty good handle on the characters, and it's still as funny as ever too.
Hey, guy, quick question for you. We never talked about what we got for Christmas, did we?
Oh no, we didn't.
So, John, what did you get for Christmas?
Well, aside from my giant light here,
which is awesome.
Yeah, which is awesome. I got some good DVDs. I got the Blues Brothers on Blu-ray.
Nice.
Got some Kung Fu movies. Got Iron Man 3.
Nice.
And I got Mystery Science Theater 2000, Volume 24, which has both Fugitive Alien episodes.
Nice. Fantastic. I love MST3K. My boys were watching Gamera not too long ago.
And my wife, even though we said we weren't going to buy each other gifts this year, popped up with a Kindle Fire for me.
Yeah, nothing like if you're going to violate a rule, take it to the limit. That's what I say.
Well, we're going to buy tablets for each other, but then she's like, I'm worried about my job. I just want to be careful with money. So I'm like, okay, no problem. And then she pops out on Christmas Day.
It was a trap. I hate to break it to you, but it was totally a trap.
That's all right. She said she wanted just a regular Kindle Whitespace. I've got one coming for her.
Nice. Well, that's super cool.
What'd you get?
I got, from the lovely and talented Belinda, I got a Starlock because she loves how flowy all the things are, and she's requested that I paint it so she can watch me paint it. And so I will put that Starlock together, and I will paint it on an upcoming show. And she also gave me a Blue Sun t-shirt from the Firefly franchise. So now I have an awesome Blue Sun shirt, which is awesome because I gave her a Blue Sun messenger bag for Christmas also. So obviously we're brown coats. I mean, that goes without saying. And that was pretty cool. And then for myself, I bought 2 Y-wings and 2 X-wings for the X-wings miniature game. Because when I was up in Minneapolis, those guys at Tower Games, where Focus and Fury comes out of, had X-wings and Y-wings, which are more rare than hen's teeth. So I got.
Yeah, they just got those coming back in recently. They just started showing up at the stores.
Yep, I had not been able to get my hands on them in a long time, and I was like, oh snap, totally getting those. So that's what I did, and that was my Christmas. And then the boys had a pretty good Christmas, and there was some 3DS action. There was some Wii U action. There was I got Ender's Game for my oldest boy, and he's already read 44 pages of it. I could not be a more proud father.
It's awesome.
Yep. When we were at the game store and I was playing with Earthbreaker, he was busting loose on the Ender's Game. Oh, I have to mention, and it's probably you can't probably see it on the camera, I did put a Kraken label on Wrong Eye's bottle of booze. I didn't do I did the best job I could with it. I'm not a very good freehander, but I did the best I could to make a little Kraken label on it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. You at least tell what it's supposed to be.
Cool. And then I put a shot glass in front of it momentarily. It was super awesome. That's some good video casting right there. Well, what else you got for us, John? Anything else you want to bring up?
I don't. Well, no, actually, I do. I've got a question for Brushheads out there. We've got a journeyman coming up, and I need to be available to play anyone because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to compete so much. But I don't know what faction to play. If I should continue with Retribution, break out my old, well-loved mercenaries, or break out my circle. What does everyone think?
I'm going to put my vote in for the Mercs. Because if you're going to, are you playing, like, you're going to play the ringer spot?
Well, I'm just there to make sure that everyone's, if someone comes in when I'm there, they've got a game.
Okay. So I would bring that. Just something that makes you happy. They're well loved and that kind of stuff. So if I were you, I would go with Merc. That's just one major thing.
I was leaning kind of towards Denver Circle because the only casters I have left to start with on Retribution I haven't played are Ron.
Hey, Ron!
And Ossian.
Well, Ossian's awfully fun.
Yeah, so I decide. I forgot Mercenaries. I've done Mercenaries a couple times, but maybe I'll go for the trifecta and break some Ostrom out because I've done Mad Hammer and Gordon both for Journeymans.
There you go. Yeah.
Neither of them is terribly friendly in Journeymans.
You know what? Ossian might be kind of fun to play. Get used to him. Well, and let's see. There was one other thing I was going to mention. I have a very special announcement. Coming up, I believe it is. Oh, I had it worked out, but now I'm going to have to cancel it because of Felix's baby shower. It's not going to be a male baby shower like we're going to be doing funny, stupid stuff. We're going to be playing games, so God bless him. But we are going to be on the show in the afternoon on a upcoming Saturday, and that is because we are going to, for you Europeans out there, we are going to have the king of all media on. That's right, we're going to have Norbert Brunhuber on the show, and he's going to be doing a demonstration of his dipping technique that he's been working on recently. So, John, I probably won't need you for this one, just because it's going to be a special, and we're going to try and. You're more than welcome to come on. We're going to do it on Google Plus if we can figure that out. But I know on Saturdays an awful lot. Sunday afternoons. You're at the game store usually, right?
No, sometimes I'm home. Saturdays I'm out 10 to 10 at the game store.
Okay. Well, on Sunday it's going to be a Sunday, and I can do it next Sunday. That's right. We are going to have. We're going to still shoot for next Sunday. We're going to have Norbert Brunhuber on, and he's going to be demonstrating that dipping technique. It will not be on Twitch. It will be a Google. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to try and do maybe a Google Hangout, but I might set my one camera up to be recording for Twitch, and then use the other camera for Google Plus. it's going to be weird. So I'll try to make the Twitch feed work so that the regular Brushheads, you know where to go and have everything set up. And then, so there you go. So it'll be Norbert, and it'll be great to have the king of all media, as I referred to him. So with that, I think, John, I'm all set. Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
Only that should be a treat because Norbert's stuff's been looking pretty good. I've been keeping up on Twitter, and his stuff looks legit.
Yeah, he was a good painter before this, and now he's going to really be kicking it up a notch. Okay, I'm going to bring up the. We'll go ahead and cue the music here. As soon as I figure out how to cue the music, because I'm an idiot. Why isn't the music starting? Oh, there it is. Thank God, finally. We almost made it a whole show without a technical blooper. Almost made it a whole show. But you know what? If that's the worst that happens here on the 1-year anniversary of painting with MenothJohn, by gosh, I think we're ahead of the game. So, on behalf of John Spencer, the co-host, and MenothJohn, I would like to thank the Brushheads for making this a very special episode of Painting with MenothJohn. And on behalf of the team, hey, Ron!
Ron.